Howdy, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another episode of our Sky Factory 4, a Let's Play Adventure extravaganza of awesomeness and fun times to be had, and sometimes things work the way I want them to, and sometimes you get things like the last couple of episodes, which were just chaos in a bottle. Unfortunately, I lost the cork, so all the chaos got out. I had fun. I hope that you folks enjoyed them. Before we get to the big bad news, let me talk about the big good news. You know those cobweb trees? You get the leaves, you put them up there, they make string. Well, I was doing that, and I was getting real tired of it, so I decided to do a little test over here, where I got myself some cobweb leaves, quite a few of them, cottonwood leaves from a cottonwood tree, in a hopper, which I pointed at a drying rack, and as you see right there, it will automatically deposit them, and when they're done drying, this hopper automatically sucks them down to here. So this setup does work, which means I can integrate that setup over here in the storage room, to, instead of, hoarding leaves that I then have to manually turn into string, I can do it all automatically. Now I can put all this away for right now. That gets turned back on every single time. I don't know why. I can type something in here, like, poop. And when I leave the game and come back, when I reboot the game, poop is still there. Poop endures forever. However, this JEI setting re-enables itself every single time. I don't know why. Watch, that poop just... well, that's weird. Poop left that time. I now have questions that abound about my sanity. But yeah, so instead of hoarding these leaves, and in fact, let me stop this process. I've got plenty of them now. I can instead just sort of set up the hopper there. It'll automatically drop onto an item rack. And then maybe underneath that, I wish there was a hopper upgrade for the crates so that they could automatically take them off the rack when they're done. And I can store leaves there instead. And there might be. Let me check upgrades and see what we've got here. So are these for the item crates? We've got capacity upgrades. Oh, there's a capacity. Oh, it's a creative upgrade, of course. Or dictionary, void overflow, uninstall upgrades. It doesn't appear as though there is, so I will have to add an additional hopper. I could use some sort of cabling as well. That would also get the job done, but just using hoppers seems to be the best bet. And, of course, I can use a wooden hopper there instead of a metal one. I wish there was room out this back door here to hide all of that, but, of course, that just leads to the outside. I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about the bad news, and let me see if I can get my climbing trick here to work. It takes me a couple of tries to remember what it is I'm trying to do here. There it is. Yes and no. So, as you can see, there's nothing inside of the chest, which is a deep disappointment. But that doesn't mean that nothing has spawned in there and been killed. By the way, I did eventually add the ladder here. I talked to Lucky Lou about it, and this was his big design suggestion. I've come up here in the past, and I have found things. I have found things like brightened flesh, string, bones, all of it floating on top of those grinders as opposed to in the hopper. So I think that they're hitting them and then jumping up on top of them, or perhaps not pushing them all the way into them. I had a couple ideas to maybe improve this a little bit. The number one idea is to move to a skybox where these things will actually work, but I don't know what type of pagan black magic I would have to pull to get this base and everybody inside of it moved to a skybox. I'll talk to people. I'll see what I can work out. I know, guys. I've got wizard friends. Maybe they can come do it for me. It wouldn't be the first time that Wizard Ralph made something impossible happen. He's a good guy. What we need to do right now is get, first off, some of those upgrades, because I really want to make sure we are pushing them into those grinders when they do spawn. And then, all we have to do to prevent them from hopping up here, strike me sideways, is prevent them from being able to stand up there. And the easiest way to do that would be with something like a slab. My only problem is, not a slab, my only problem is I don't know if that's going to prevent Endermen from then getting up there, from getting hit, because they're so tall, they might not be hit by this. And the whole purpose of having it is so it'll kill Endermen. But then again, I guess Endermen could just take damage and teleport away. Unless we have some sort of torch to prevent Endermen from teleporting. That is a thing. It exists in some mod packs. Ender Offset Wand is not the thing that we are looking for. Ender Tether, on the other hand, is. That will prevent them from teleporting around. It requires an unstable Ender Pearl, which we just don't have access to at the moment. In fact, it requires a lot of things we don't have access to at the moment. Should we be reading our guide for what we should be doing here? I mean, I know there was some directions somewhere in here about building one of these mob spawners that I did not read through when I decided to do this all on my own, or at least I thought that there was. Was that part of, Age of Enhancement? Am I crazy? That was a thing, wasn't it? Maybe not. I thought that somewhere in here there were directions for building a mob spawner, but now that I'm looking through it, I don't see them. Oh well, that's okay. We'll just continue on, my wayward son. Let's get out of here. We can just go down here now. There we perfect. I mean, I guess if someone manages to climb those walls out there and get inside the base and go through that hatch, then we deserve to be invaded. I'll set up that whole string contraption later. Today I thought, we'll change pace again. Last couple episodes I've just been doing random things that I want to do, like getting infinite milk, allegedly to create saplings, and I even prepared. I got everything we need up here to build a giant smeltery, but I thought, yeah, let's make progress today. We haven't done that in a while. Progress is a thing that we have not achieved in some time. So today, we're going to do that, and we're going to craft all of these objects here, because if we're going to build a smeltery, we might as well start making some tinker's tools as well. And this is, of course, the Age of Enhancement. I said we were going to get into the Age of Farming, and I stand by that. We're going to get into the Age of Farming. We're going to get... what the heck is that? Is that the thunder? Hold on a second. Yeah, it is. Okay, the thunder's real bad. I should note that there is a horrible storm blowing through at the moment of this recording. It is chaos outside. So I'm expecting the power to probably go out at some point. I just hope that we don't lose this recording when that happens. Everything is on a backup battery, but sometimes if a monitor or something isn't plugged in and that goes out, OBS loses its mind and it stops functioning, and then it's just chaos, and I'd have to record an episode. Why am I even doing this? I was going to say I'll have to record an episode explaining why there's a whole bunch of missing footage, which I guess I'm going to have to do now, because I'm just pushing ahead. I'm not stopping. I'm going forward with my plans, and they're starting right now. So, in order to get into Tinker's Construct, let's get that up there. I've already got, like I say, everything I need for the smeltery, but Tinker's is more than just that. First off, you have Tinker's Complement, which I realized today is a different mod. So when it says to build a Tinker's Complement Melter, the amount of times I typed in Complement Melter and not found anything blows my mind. It's not a Tinker's Construct Complement Melter. It's a Tinker's Complement is the mod, and then the Melter is the object. That is mind-blowing, but good to know, honestly. What we want to build here today is the stencil table, the pattern chest, the part builder, the part chest, and the tool station, and then maybe a tool forge while we have the time. You can also build them out of cobalt, and it'll have blue legs, and that intrigues me. Let's do it out of that instead. No, well, we don't have any cobalt. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking just then. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good time. In order to build these, we will also need patterns, and patterns should be on one of these first pages. Thank goodness. We can just add that recipe up there. I'm adding recipes by tapping A. Just in case you were curious, because sometimes people ask, and it was covered in a previous episode, but I understand not everyone watches every episode, because not everyone is as intelligent as you, dear viewer. Oh my gosh! The slime sling is in this pack? What? I did not oh my god. Okay, well, we're adding that now, because that's just immediately a necessity. I didn't even know I needed this in my life. Can I make one right now? I can. Okay. Highly recommended you don't build the slime sling unless you can also build yourself some slime boots. The way it works is, find the direction you want to go. Say we want to go that way. Point in the opposite direction. Hold down right click. Release. And up you go. And of course, this is why you want to have the slime boots, so that you can hop around. Okay, you know what? These are not climbing gloves, but they're still pretty effective, and you can get pretty high with them. I mean, look at that. And then, if I combine that with my new climbing technique that works for some inexplicable reason that I've yet to work out, it's pretty good. It's pretty effective. So we're going to keep that on us at all times. Why have I been carrying around this diamond hammer? I don't know. Putting it in here now. And by the way, I am keeping an eye on this chest and trying to determine, okay, there's too many oak logs in there. I'm trying to take those out and put them in their own place. Just trying to keep on top of all the storage situation. It certainly seems like I'm trying to avoid getting started with the actual episode. And maybe it's because Tinker's Construct for me has become a bit dull. I've talked in the past how I tried to avoid it in previous packs because people were getting bored with it. It was in every single pack that I did. People started to complain, so I started to try to avoid it. There's the tool station, by the way. Crafting table, blank pattern, tool station. And then, you know, people kind of did a turn on it. And they're like, no, you know what? We like Tinker's Construct, Rees, and it's okay for you to do it in your videos. So then I did. And I've done it in pretty much every series I've done for the last few series. And ever since then, I've overdone it, I feel. And I'm a little bit tired of it. What was that we couldn't make just then? The pattern chest? Well, we'll make some more chests then. We've got plenty of oak logs. And we are working our way through here, making our way downtown. Faces past. We are homebound. There we go. So we've got it all. The tool station, the pattern chest, the part builder, the pattern... Oh, part chest and pattern chest, and the stencil table. The tool station itself isn't really necessary if you build a tool forge, which is the upgraded variant. However, as you just saw, we don't have any of those materials. We don't have any sort of stone brick. If we take a look at seared stone... there we go. That's what we're looking for, is the actual seared stone bricks. And in order to manufacture those, I think we got to get some grout. I am grout. That's going to be just gravel, sand, and clay. And we have access to all of those things. We don't have any gravel with us, but we should have gravel. That's the wrong buttons. We should have gravel being made. Oh, no. Oh, Shrek. Do you reckon it's possible? And it is possible. It's fully possible. And in fact, it's almost likely that I completely forgot to set up gravel trees. Looking around me, that is most definitely what happened. Well, we can get some gravel saplings out of one of these chests. Possibly, maybe I'm just, oh, good gosh, I was going to say, maybe I'm just running over the top of it several times. Let's get gravel type back in there. Let's get all of our acorns, all of our resin. We'll get ourselves a key. And why do we have two of these? Did I make two? I think I did. I think I kind of vaguely remember that. We've got two slots over here. They've both been locked, and I was holding them for something else. I don't remember what. But there we go. I've been slowly realizing that I am missing certain trees. So that's not really a big revelation to me. And I mean, of course, I'm missing all of these that I haven't constructed yet, including copper, which I previously did not have on the list until I realized that I needed on the list. But I also realized recently that I didn't have cocos, I didn't have the coal, so I got those set up. Now we've got gravel being produced, so good to go there. Once we have the materials for the tool forge, we'll just create a tool forge, because it does pretty much the same thing as the tool station, but more, and more is better. Now I need to tidy up this area over here, because that's where all of this is going to go. I'm going to put it down in an order. You need to know, first off, that the order is unnecessary. You can plop these things down in whatever order you want, but I have a bit of a workflow, which usually starts kind of over here on the end with the tool station. So it doesn't start there, it ends there. And next to that, we want to probably have the parts chest and the part builder. So you build something in the part builder. You can store it in the part chest, and then it'll be right next to the tool station when you are ready to build. Of course, before you can build parts, you've got to have patterns. And in order to make patterns, you have to have your stencil table, which is where you make patterns. And in fact, we need more blank patterns. We can get rid of everything else up here, because we're done. I'm going to hold on to that tool forge. And blank patterns, we're going to make a stack of those if we can, and of course we can. I will store those right up here, and then it's just a matter of deciding, what it is you want to make. I'm not going to go into a super in-depth tutorial here, because most of you will already know Tinker's Construct, and I've covered it so many times in the past. No real reason to go in-depth, but, I don't know, just real basic. If you want to build something down here at your tool station, figure out what it is you want to build. Like, let's say I want to build a pick. Okay, that's going to need a tool rod, a pickaxe head, and some binding, and you can see that right there. So you come down here and you get yourself a tool rod pattern, a pickaxe head pattern, which I'm not, oh, there it is right up there, and the binding pattern, the little one, there's a couple of them. That's the binding pattern, and that is the tough binding pattern. That's for bigger tools, which I believe is what you need the tool forge for. You can store those in here in the pattern chest, and then you can access them from the part builder, and I'm doing a full tutorial. I said I wasn't going to, but here we go. I'm not really interested in making tool heads, per se, out of basic materials like cobblestone, and in fact, it's one of the worst materials you can use, but as you can see, just put that there, get yourself a stone pickaxe head. The reason you want to do that is so you can then put that into a table, specifically the casting table, cover it in gold, and then the gold will create a cast, sort of like our ingot cast, like we did previously, and then from there, you can make a metal tool head. I'm going to do that with all of these. I'm going to do that with the tool rod, and I'm going to do that with our binding. and then I'm going to store all of those over here. And we can pull those out, and if we want to cook up some gold later. Right now, I'm still going through and making a bunch of iron, because that seems to be the main thing that we use for the moment. But there we go. I mean, you want to talk about progress. You want to talk about achievements. How do you like me now, game? I've gone down this path. What is this? An armory? What? A construct's armor? What? Is there armor in this now? Oh, this is new. Okay, I mean, it might not be very new, but it's new to me. I don't even see it in here. Do you folks? Do you see it? If you see it, say, there! How about that Dora the Explorer movie? Have you folks seen the trailer for that? If you've seen the trailer for that, don't say anything. I don't see it in here. Do we just type in armor, I guess? Armor... Was it armor? Oh, okay, so it's from a different mod. It's from the mod Constructs Armory. All right, tap A there, and we will get to work constructing those. Okay, oh, that's pretty simple. Blank patterns around a crafting station. Now, I put all of my blank patterns away, but we can get more today. And that'll give us the armor station. I don't know where to put that. I guess right there. Look at that. Okay, so you can make helmets, chestplate, leggings, boots, of course. I'm guessing you can put, like, special doodads on these. Special doodads. Listen to me. I'm like a child. But you could put special doodads on those that would do cool things, but I don't know what. What is the name of this mod? I've already forgotten. Where did those things go? Constructs Armory. Okay, so let's type in at constructs, and we will figure out what it is exactly. Did that get rid of a page? It got rid of a lot of page. We're going to find out what it is we can attach to these. Is there a guidebook for this? Materials new Armory Addendum. Okay, so we got to get materials new. And in order to get that, we need a blank book, or just a regular book, and a blank pattern. We're going to need one of those anyway, because I oftentimes forget what objects do what in Tinker's Construct. You see, the idea with Tinker's Construct is you build a tool, and the materials you use give it different abilities, and then you can add modifiers to it. I think you can do the same with the armor, but I don't know what any of this does. That's spiny armor right there. Is there flyy armor? Bouncy. I can make slimy, bouncy armor. That sounds like fun. Steady, voltaic, blessed, heavy, shielding. See, you've got all these... Oh, featherweight. I guess that one just makes you really light. I have no idea. Is it the magnesium that does that? Or do you do something else with it? I don't know. We're going to have to figure out how to make a book, I guess. And if everyone can make a book, no one can. That's what they said in that fantastic film. You all know the one I'm talking about. I've already forgotten the name of it. I just had it in my head. What is the name of that film? The Incredibles. I kept wanting to say the Fantastic Four, but I was like, that's not it. I mean, it basically is. They have the same superpowers. They're sort of like a family dynamic. It's basically the same thing. I should probably leave some sugarcane out here to replant eventually. Here we go. I need to replant my farm. I'm still upset they destroyed it to build what is effectively a shrine to a portal that I haven't even gone down to look at. Or did I go down here? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Paper, come get your paper. Make yourself a book. Combine it with the pattern. But where did the book go? Did I not make the book? Did I just get the book recipe up there and then not make it? Because that wouldn't necessarily be the first time. All right, we're going to get materials in you, and then we're going to get another materials in you. I did have 2 books there. We're going to combine one of them with a blank pattern. So now we have materials in you, the Armory Addendum. Excellent, so I can read through this one now. Ah, good. We can find out all the information we're looking for here. So, like I said before, tools. Introduction, tool materials. This is where you can read about the various materials. So if we wanted to build a tool out of cactus, the benefits. If you build the handle out of cactus, you get a 0.85 modifier, which is lower than 1, so it would lower your durability, I guess, which is not ideal. And you're only starting with 20 durability to begin with. It does give you spiky, though. 200% cooler with spikes. Blocking and getting hurt deals damage to the attacker, which is a nice ability to have. But why would you build a tool out of cacti? I mean, I'm sure it's got its uses. I personally have never done it, so I don't know. Your tool's damage is increased. Does that mean it damages itself more often, or it damages others more often? These are things I need to look into. hit them more to deal more damage. Isn't that just what everything does? I'm confused. This is the basic book, though. I'll read through that as we go. Bows. Did I ever build one? I think I've built a bow before. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. What matters is now we've got the Armory Addendum, where we can learn about the armory materials. So I can make wooden armor if I wanted to. Very low durability. And it looks like we've got most of the same materials to choose from over here. What if I built, what do I have in abundance of? Stone? What does stone add? Increases durability gained when repairing the armor. That's pretty good. Stone is bad, your armor has less durability. So it does depend on what you're using it for, which one of these you would get. If we used it for the core, we would get that. But if we used it for the plate, we would get that. Presumably. We can go back to that main page there. What else do we have a lot of? We have a ton of netherrack. The armor works better in hotter environments and extra protection from non-nether mobs. Well, that's a pretty good thing to have. Infernal, extra protection from non-nether mobs. Okay, that's the same thing on all of them. Of course it is. They're all infernal. So this is just, what you build it out of. If we built it out of slime, what would that give us? Who knows? Might save you in a... What? I don't know. Somehow you feel healthier? Somehow you feel health... What does that do? Invigorate it? What is it? Slime. That's the one I clicked on. Ew, gooey. It'll wash off. Your armor tends to bounce around. See, this would be useful if we wanted to build some iron, or not some iron, but some better boots than the ones we currently have, but have them still be bouncy. That could be very useful. I'm curious to see which one adds the lightweight effect, because it sounded like flying to me, and flying sounds really good. Paper's one of the more useful ones, because it allows you to add more modifiers. Modifiers, it adds the writable ability, and I see that modifiers are a thing, so this is where it gets real fun. As you can see, speedy, resistant, blast resistant. Decide what type of thing you want applied to your armor. I'm looking for flying, and I'm not seeing it. Telekinetic? What? How would that even work? Powerful, frosty, glowing, polished. Yeah, I don't see flying abilities. But fire resistant could be useful. So what do we do if we want fire resistance? Coating your armor in fire resistant material will make it harder to burn you. It's just science. So you would apply a fire resistance modifier. It doesn't say what that is, though. What is the fire resistance modifier? We can check in here, though. Let's see. Fire resistance modifier. There it is. Holy smoke. No, okay, it's not that bad. It's just blaze powder, obsidian, and a blank cast. That'll give us the fire resistance modifier. Apply that to your armor. Make you resistant. Maybe not fireproof, unless you add a bunch of it. I don't know. I've never done it before. I did just click on the accessories tab to see what we have in here. Traveler's goggles give you zoom ability. While wearing these goggles, you can see distant things as if they were much closer. Allows zooming in on distant targets. Toggle zoom on key press. Only one accessory per item. Ooh. So we could get night vision, but also only one accessory per item. So we could probably apply it to the helmet, I guess. It does show it being applied to a helmet, but I don't know if you specifically have to do that. Also, don't we have baubles? I wonder if you could stick them in the bauble slot. Seems unlikely, though, doesn't it? Back into the book we got. I'm hitting all kinds of buttons that aren't correct. Soul sight. These goggles, you can see souls of nearby beings. This is cool. Invisibility. Extra storage space. Slower to mitigate impact. Wait, what? Oh, making cloak more aerodynamic should help fall slower and mitigate impact. Oh, slow door does not suffer from fall damage. That's a good one. It's better than the bouncy boots. Well, it depends on what you're looking for, but I think, because it's more controlled. Bouncy boots send you everywhere. And if you hold down shift to stop bouncing with the bouncy boots, you take damage. It's not great. Traveler's belt, more storage. Potions instead of swapping hotbars. That's cool. All right, so there's a lot of really cool things under accessories to look at that I think are really interesting. Also, I didn't have to page through them. I could have just looked at them all here. While I'm thinking about it, while it's fresh on my mind, what kind of baubles do we have? Antidote Charm? Auto cure poison and wither. Turn it on with the right click. Drowning protection while... Okay, that's useful. Drowning protection. Isn't there a charm you can get? Wait, what? Walk on air, sneak to... Okay, I've seen that one before. Isn't there one you can get that, like... What do you get that makes you eat? Like the auto-eat charm thing. You know what I'm talking about? Gluttony Charm. That's the one we want right there. That should automatically take food from our inventory and stick it in our mouths for us. And it requires a golden apple. Oh boy. This is the Brill one too. This is the heavy-duty golden apple. with all the blocks of gold around it. And then just some wheat and some string, just the basic things. We could theoretically get that pretty quick. I mean, how much gold do we have? Let's see. Gold, amber. And then page through to here. Oh, Shrek. Oh, yeah, we can do that. I've just got to get rid of all the iron, though. Let's move all of this iron over here. We'll use this one still for iron. And then we'll empty this one out, and we will use it for gold. While that's going, I guess we can talk about what my plans were for, and still are, what my plans currently are for the smelter. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm not going to make it too tall or too deep, but I'm going to make it very wide so that it can take up this whole area. And then all along here, I can have things like these basins, and I can have a whole bunch of casting tables, and I can have them all sort of pre-configured for basic tasks. I know, we need to get into machines eventually, but, until we're getting into machines, we might as well make the most of having, Tinker's Construct and Smelteries and all of that, and then automatically produce lava and have it piped in there. This is all a plan for probably next episode. This episode, I really wanted to focus on progressing with our objectives and our achievements, and I've got to say, we did, 5 things here? That's pretty good progress. If I remember correctly, these baubles, which are useful, and I do like to have them, they take damage over time, and rather than building new ones, what I did in original recipe stone block, the first one, is I had a device that would automatically repair them. So that's what I'm looking for, and it does look like we have the powered diamond anvil, which repairs everything or anything using energy, and it's not a complex construction. In fact, we have the materials to do it right now. Durability folder, empty. Craft with items that can be damaged, repaired. Oh, someone told me to look into filing cabinets. It sounded like a really cool mod. I, of course, got the comment after I already decided what to do in the storage room, because I try to have a couple of these ready to be edited and uploaded at all times, and I've gotten behind now of schedule, so I need to try to get back ahead. But this looks cool. So if I understand correctly, you make the filing cabinet, and then you make your folder right here, and then I don't know how many you can put inside. Let's see, at real filing cabinets. I'm not sure how many you can put per filing cabinet or how much they store. Craft with any item blocks that do not have durability. But then you could say, potentially, I believe, put 2 or 3 of them in here, and then you can pipe items in there and it'll only store the items it has folders for, I think, based on what I read in a comment. Don't take my word for it. These are, of course, just dyed ones, I guess, for your convenience, so you can tell what you're looking at. You have some different ones up here. Click any non-child boss mob with this. What does that do? Does that pick them up? If that picks them up and allows you to carry them around, that would be stupidly useful. I mean, that would be insanely useful. And then you have various upgrades, like Ore Dictionary and Mob Upgrade. I need to look more into the mod before we, actually try to do anything with it. But it seems pretty cool. And it seems like the sort of thing I'd like to play around with. And in fact, we could probably do it right now while we're waiting on all of this to happen. I need to be more progressive about coming over here and emptying this stuff out. What goes into making this filing cabinet? No, you know what? No, this is the sort of thing that needs to be dedicated to its own episode. It's not like a slime sling you just throw into whichever episode you're working on, because it's such a minor thing, but it's not. It's one of the best things in the game. It's not minor at all. Dun, 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 okay, I think the second we let that go into our inventory, it should start eating food, but we might have to wear it like a bauble. So let's put it in a bauble slot. We've got a ton of options here. I think you can literally, no, that just holds it. I don't think you have to put it in like a necklace slot. I don't think. Maybe you do, because it doesn't seem to like that. Maybe if I put it up there, how are we doing? Well, it's not automatically eating food. Was I crazy? Is that not what this does? What if I eat something? Oh! I'm an idiot. An absolute fool. I wonder how much of that I can cut out without embarrassing myself too much. Probably none of it. I'll leave it all in there. The Gluttony Charm is not an auto-feeder. That's a different object. The Gluttony Charm makes eating instant. It doesn't do it automatically. It just means when you click right, it's you're done. There's no... It's like you've lost the ability to chew, so you've trained yourself to swallow every... I can't even say bite of food. You're just having to eat your food whole and hope you don't choke to death on it. And that's basically what the Gluttony Charm does. It gives you it disables the gag reflex and allows you to swallow your food whole like a snake, but a lot quicker. If you've ever watched a snake try to swallow something big like a rat or a deer, those are two very differently sized objects. Depends on the size of the snake, which one they're going for. Some snakes are too small for a deer, but they're very ambitious. In any case, it takes a long time. They have to unhinge their jaw, and then it looks like a lot of work, and then they just have this weird pudgy belly for a bit, which has got to make them more prone to attack by cats if you live in Texas, and I don't know, mongoose in other places. Honey badgers, I understand, is a popular attacker of snakes. If you have a whole deer in there, they're attacking that bulge because that's where you're most vulnerable. We don't have that issue with the Gluttony Charm, of course, because we can't eat more than we need. But if we run around for a bit here, I will show you that eating is as simple as... Oh, we've got some like bonus shanks down there. It's going to take too long to demonstrate. Never mind, Shrek it. There's also a sleep charm, which makes sleeping instantaneous, which could be useful if we were tired of all of these long, drawn-out nights. And wouldn't you know it, I kind of am. The problem is we're apparently out of leather. I was told we could make leather somehow. I've already forgotten how. Dehydrator, statue loot... Someone walked me through it in a previous comment, and I appreciate it, by the way. I really do. You have to understand that it's not you, it's me. I just forget things easily. We can make some of our own leather if we had some cooked food. What do we have in here that's cooked? Pork chops. Isn't that perfect? It's exactly what we saw in the reference. So we will get rid of some of this string, if I can right-click with a free hand, instead of opening that menu up every single time. We'll hang that up there, and then over time, that will very slowly become the leather necessary to build the sleep charm. In the meantime, I don't know if y'all noticed, but performance has been significantly better here today. I mean, it's not been perfect. And if you're wondering why that is, I'm glad that you've asked, because I've also been wondering why that is. I have done nothing. I have changed nothing about the game, my capture PC. Well, it's not the capture PC's fault to begin with. My recording PC. None of that, like my gaming PC. Nothing has been changed. I don't know what's making it run so smoothly today. And to be quite frank, as long as it continues, I don't care. I'm not a picky person. I am hoping that this finishes before the sun rises, because I wanted to demonstrate it on camera. I wanted to sleep instantaneously for the world to see. And if the sun rises, it's going to make that very difficult. Where are we sitting right now? Like 60%? Oh my gosh. Well, what do I do in the meantime? I want to go do another project, but what if that project takes too long? Oh, should we go check on the spawner? I guess we could go do that. I highly doubt that anything else has happened, because I think it's too close, and also it's flawed. And there's more spiders inside of my base, but outside of the darn spawner than there is inside the spawner, being besieged by spiders. They can climb over the ramparts and whatnot, which is not good for me. Let's see if I can... There we go. I'm getting pretty good at this. Yeah, still nothing. I think I built it too close, and I think that the problem is there's so many other places for monsters to spawn out in the world. Why would they spawn in that tiny little area, you know? So, again, I don't know what to do about that. Maybe someone will move in, and they'll open up a shop that sells monster parts at a price. Like, that's what happened in SevTech, and that was beneficial for everyone. It was good for me, it was good for you folks. Sleep Charm, good. We'll equip it in our Baubles. Oh, no! Did it specify any, so it can go anywhere? I'll stick it there, because why not? And then I think it's just a matter of right-clicking on a bed and seeing where the world takes us. These two are still in here. Good. Wow. Yeah. What do you know? Did exactly as described. That was great. That was absolutely great. What is... Blood Elf, what is that? What is that? What has he got down there in his boat? Oh, what is up, dude? What are you doing? Oh, good. I see that the squids are now back now that I no longer need them. Is that... What? Where is that crate? You found it? Is that the crate I threw over the edge of you? That was like 5 episodes ago. What the heck? You have 320 ink sacs? How long have those been in there? What, are you just are you the reason that there's sometimes no squids? Are you killing them all? I found them in my ocean. Okay. All right. No, I can't argue with that. It's his ocean. I may make a lucky loot. It's his ocean. He can kill him if he wants to, I guess. Whatever. Whatever. Legacy Minecraft. Did you know that Banana Hat's actually a woman? I know. It's weird for the canon, but there you go. Because you asked me to go find a fella named Banana Hat. I wonder where Banana Hat is. Maybe Banana Hat will open up a store where they sell monster parts. Because I can't get the spawner working. Because we're not in a sky block. It's called Sky Factory 4. And I thought it would be a fun change of pace to do it on the ground. Well, you know who disagrees with that? Minecraft. That's who. Sky Factory. Why is it an option if you can't get a mob spawner working? Maybe there's some sort of like possessed or cursed soil I can build that will cause monsters to spawn more. Is there like a cursed soil or something? Or earth? Is there like some sort of evil earth? Normally there is. Someone comment down below if I can accelerate the spawn. I could build a monster spawner. Wait a minute. That's actually the best idea I've had all day. It goes into a spawner. Spawner Seeker. We have one of those. Target Dummy Spawner. Spawn a target dummy spawner that measures damage done by a player. What? Monster spawner. Oh, we can build one. If he had spider matter. Oh gosh. No, I'm gonna put rockets. I'm gonna do an Avengers 2. I'm gonna take Ultron's plan. I'm gonna put big old thrusters underneath our base. I take that pig with me, and we're gonna go into the skies. Maybe not, though. It seems a bit absurd. Hey, until next time, thank you folks for watching. I hope that y'all found this to be entertaining, enjoyable, helpful. Anything, really. And until next time, God bless you. I'll see you later. Bye.